Imagine a city so rich in knowledge and culture that scholars from every corner of the world journeyed there to study. A city filled with wisdom, science, and art, thriving at the heart of an empire that spanned continents. This was Baghdad in the 8th century, the jewel of the Islamic world. But in 1258, that same city would be left in ashes. What happened to this beacon of civilization? How did the glorious Golden Age of Islam meet such a devastating end? The Golden Age of Islam, which began in the 8th century, was a period of tremendous intellectual and cultural growth in the Islamic world. At the center of this golden era was the city of Baghdad, founded in 762 AD by the Abbasid Caliphate. The city flourished under the Abbasids, becoming a center for learning, trade, and governance. Scholars from across the world, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, and others, gathered in Baghdad to share ideas and advance knowledge. One of the most iconic institutions of this era was the Beit al-Hikmah, House of Wisdom. This grand library and academy housed manuscripts from all over the world. Scholars translated works from Greek, Persian, Indian, and other civilizations into Arabic, preserving ancient knowledge and expanding it with their discoveries. From algebra, developed by al-Khwarizmi, to the advancements in medicine by Ibn Sina, Avicenna, Baghdad became synonymous with intellectual growth. Its legacy shaped fields such as mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. The Abbasid rulers, particularly under Harun al-Rashid and his son al-Mun, were patrons of the arts and sciences, funding scholars, architects, and thinkers. Under their rule, Baghdad became not only the political capital, but also the intellectual heart of the Muslim world. However, the prosperity of the Abbasids would not last forever. Over time, the caliphate began to weaken due to internal strife, corruption, and external pressures. In the 13th century, the world saw the rise of a new, powerful force, the Mongol Empire. Led initially by Genghis Khan, the Mongols were nomadic warriors from the steppes of Central Asia. They were known for their ferocity in battle and their ability to conquer vast territories quickly. After Genghis Khan's death, his empire was divided among his grandsons. One of these grandsons, Hulagu Khan, was tasked with expanding Mongol rule into the Middle East. Hulagu's ambition brought him into direct conflict with the Abbasid Caliphate. By this time, the Abbasids were a shadow of their former strength. Their military and political influence weakened. Despite this, al-Mustasim, the last Abbasid Caliph, believed that Baghdad could withstand the Mongol threat. He also mistakenly assumed that the Muslim world would come to the defense of Baghdad, the symbolic heart of Islamic civilization. In January 1258, Hulagu Khan sent an ultimatum to Caliph al-Mustasim, demanding that Baghdad surrender. Confident in the city's defenses and the supposed support of other Muslim rulers, al-Mustasim refused. The caliph's decision would prove disastrous. On January 29, 1258, the Mongol army, which numbered around 150,000 troops, laid siege to Baghdad. The Mongols were masterful in siege warfare, and they quickly breached the city's defenses. The Abbasid army was ill-prepared and poorly equipped to resist the Mongol onslaught. Within a matter of days, the once great walls of Baghdad crumbled, and on February 10, 1258, the city fell to the Mongols. What followed was a week of unparalleled destruction. The Mongols, known for their brutal methods, spared few. According to some accounts, hundreds of thousands of civilians were slaughtered, with estimates ranging from 90,000 to over 1 million people killed. Men, women, and children alike were not spared from the violence. The Tigris River, which had once been a symbol of life and prosperity for the city, now ran red with the blood of Baghdad's citizens. Beyond the human cost, the cultural and intellectual loss was devastating. The Mongols burned libraries, destroyed countless manuscripts, and looted the city's treasures. It is said that the Tigris River turned black with ink from the thousands of books that were thrown into it by the Mongols. These books contained centuries of knowledge, texts on science, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, and literature. The House of Wisdom, the crown jewel of Baghdad's intellectual community, was reduced to ashes. The Caliph, al-Mustasim, met a grim end as well. According to one account, he was wrapped in a carpet and trampled to death by Mongol horses, as Hulagu believed spilling royal blood on the ground would bring bad luck. Another account claims that al-Mustasim was imprisoned and left to starve amid his own treasure, a cruel irony considering the wealth he had accumulated. The fall of Baghdad was not just the end of the Abbasid Caliphate. It marked the end of the Golden Age of Islam. The city that had once been the center of learning and culture was now a smoldering ruin. The intellectual advancements that had flourished in Baghdad would never fully recover. The destruction of Baghdad was a tragic loss, not just for the Muslim world but for humanity as a whole. It was a turning point in history, a reminder that no empire, no matter how great, is invincible. The sack of Baghdad in 1258 was more than the fall of a city. It was the collapse of a cultural and intellectual era that had shaped the world. The lessons of the Islamic Golden Age and its achievements still resonate today, but the loss of so many lives, books, and ideas serves as a poignant reminder of how fragile civilization can be. The once great city of Baghdad may have been reduced to ruins, but its legacy continues to inspire and remind us of the power of knowledge and the dangers of underestimating threats.